If you enjoy videos like this, subscribe to the channel before the video starts. James stared at his cluttered desk, rubbing his tired eyes. Reports, papers, and blinking devices were scattered everywhere. Today was the worst day of his life. The Galactic Treaty Office had just sent a message, and he knew it would make things even more chaotic. A soft chime echoed in his office. James looked at the holographic screen. A message blinked. You have been assigned a secretary under the Intergalactic Treaty. Arrival expected immediately. What? A secretary? Now, he muttered. I don't even have time for lunch, let alone a new secretary. Before he could think twice, the air shimmered. In the blink of an eye, a figure appeared in the middle of his office. James froze. Standing there was a creature unlike anything he had ever seen. She had pale, glowing skin, eyes like liquid silver, and her hands moved in strange, graceful patterns. She smiled politely. Hello. I am assigned to assist you, she said in a calm, musical voice. James gaped. Assist me? You're an alien. She nodded. Yes. According to the treaty, I am your official secretary. James pinched his nose and tried to breathe. This is the worst timing. I have a big meeting in 10 minutes, and you just appeared out of nowhere. The alien tilted her head slightly and glanced at his desk. Her fingers touched a blinking device. Instantly, papers lifted into the air and began arranging themselves neatly in piles. James blinked. Wait, that's impossible. Organizing, she said simply, as if it was the most normal thing in the world. James rubbed his eyes again. He had barely recovered when the alien picked up his cup of coffee. Instead of drinking, she waved her hand over it. The coffee steamed and then froze into a solid, glowing crystal. James yelped, jumping back. Not helpful. Not helpful at all, he shouted, flailing. The alien looked at him calmly, her eyes glowing faintly. It is helpful. You requested efficiency. James groaned. I did not request efficiency. I requested normal human assistance. Suddenly, a loud alarm rang from the building's main console. James spun around. The alien raised her hand, and the alarm stopped immediately. The blinking lights on the console rearranged themselves into patterns James could not understand. He swallowed hard. Okay, maybe I can use your help after all, but why now? Why at this exact moment? The alien's silver eyes gleamed. The treaty requires immediate assignment. Timing is critical. James took a deep breath and slumped into his chair. Great. Just great. My life is officially under alien supervision. But even as he muttered this, a small, strange buzzing sound echoed from the device she had touched earlier. Papers started shifting on their own, forming shapes he could not understand. James felt a cold shiver run down his spine. Something told him this was just the beginning of a very strange and dangerous day. The alien secretary smiled softly, as if she already knew the chaos that was about to unfold. The office had barely returned to normal when James realized the alien secretary, Lyra, was far from ordinary. Papers and devices around her hummed, glowed, and moved as if alive. James rubbed his eyes. This is impossible. Lyra tilted her head, her silver eyes observing him. Impossible only for those who do not understand the rules of intergalactic efficiency, she said calmly. James tried to focus on his work, but every move he made seemed to trigger more chaos. His hollow screen flickered wildly, sending confusing graphs and blinking lights across the room. Lyra reached out, and with a soft wave of her hand, the screen reorganized itself into perfect clarity. James blinked. Okay, that's actually kind of useful, he muttered, though his voice carried a mix of fear and awe. But then came the real shock. One of the devices on his desk, a small cube that monitored inter-office communication, started floating. It spun slowly, projecting a hologram of a planet James had never seen. Strange symbols flashed around it. Lyra's eyes glimmered. A warning, she said simply. James froze. A warning? About what? Before Lyra could answer, the office lights dimmed, and the holographic symbol shifted into something resembling a countdown. James swallowed hard. Is this a bomb? Lyra shook her head. Not a bomb. Something worse. Something hidden. Someone is trying to manipulate your office's systems remotely. You are the target. James stared at her, heart racing. Target? Why me? Lyra didn't answer immediately. Instead, she touched the floating cube again. Instantly, tiny energy threads extended from the cube, scanning every corner of the office. The threads passed through walls, doors, and even the ceiling. James backed away, his mouth dry. I didn't sign up for this. I just wanted paperwork. Lyra's lips curled into the faintest smile. The treaty has rules. You follow them, knowingly or unknowingly. And sometimes, that means danger finds you. Suddenly, the door to James's office slid open, and a shadowy figure slipped inside. James gasped. Before he could react, Lyra raised her hand, and a barrier of glowing energy formed around them. The intruder froze, unable to move. You see, Lyra said softly, not all threats are visible to humans. But I see everything. James's heart pounded. His desk, the devices, even the walls seemed alive with energy. Everything was different now. The alien secretary wasn't just organizing his office, she was protecting him, anticipating dangers he didn't even know existed. And then she said, almost casually, we must prepare. What comes next will test both you and me. James swallowed hard. I think my life is officially over. Lyra smiled, her eyes glowing brighter. Or officially beginning. The countdown on the floating cube ticked closer to 0, and James realized this was far bigger than a secretary assignment. It was a mission, one that might change everything. The countdown on the floating cube reached its final seconds. James's heart pounded so fast he thought it might explode before the cube did. His eyes darted to Lyra, whose calm silver gaze made him both terrified and strangely reassured. Now, she said softly. Before James could ask what she meant, the cube released a shockwave of energy. Papers flew, screens flickered, and the air seemed to hum with electricity. James yelped and ducked under his desk, expecting disaster. But nothing exploded. Instead, the energy settled, revealing the true intruder. A humanoid figure, half hidden in shadows, emerged from the doorway. Its eyes glowed red, and it moved with unnatural speed. James froze. What are you? He stammered. Lyra stepped forward, her body glowing faintly. An agent of sabotage. Sent to disrupt your office systems and trigger panic. But not today. In a blink, Lyra's hands moved in strange patterns. Energy streams shot out from her fingers, wrapping around the intruder. It struggled but could not break free. James watched, stunned, as the alien secretary moved with precision and power he had never imagined. Why are you helping me? James asked. Lyra's silver eyes met his. Because your work matters. And because I am assigned to protect you. Suddenly, the intruder laughed a chilling, mechanical sound. You think you can stop me, alien? This treaty changes nothing. Lyra's eyes narrowed. This treaty changes everything. With a wave of her hand, the intruder was lifted into the air, immobilized. Then, Lyra whispered words James didn't understand, and the intruder vanished in a flash of light, leaving only a faint trace of smoke. James blinked. It's gone. Just like that? Lyra nodded. Some threats exist only to test readiness. Some missions are hidden until the moment they are needed. James sank into his chair, still shaking. I don't even know what just happened. My life, my office, everything, it's insane. Lyra's lips curved into a small smile. Insanity is a matter of perspective. To a human, yes. But for you, this is a beginning. You have been chosen not just for work, but for responsibility. James stared at her, the weight of her words sinking in. Chosen? Responsibility? I'm just an office worker. You are more than you realize, Lyra said, her voice calm but firm. And now, you have me by your side. For the first time, James looked at her not as a terrifying alien, but as an ally. She had appeared at the worst possible moment, yet she had saved him. He felt a mix of awe, relief, and curiosity. Lyra glanced at the glowing cube, now harmless on the desk. The treaty brought us together for a reason. Your next challenge is already waiting. Are you ready? James hesitated, and then nodded. I guess I am. Let's do this. The office was quiet now, but James knew it was only the calm before the storm. With Lyra at his side, the ordinary world he knew had disappeared. His life had changed forever, and somehow, he was ready to face whatever came next. The screen fades to black, leaving only the mystery of the next mission, teasing the audience for the next video.